Okay. All right, a little bit late, but I'm going to open the monthly meeting of the Board of Trustees, and we'll begin with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please call the roll.
Trustee Mathis.
Here.
Trustee Gifford.
Here.
Trustee Lockwood.
Here.
Trustee Rizzo.
Here.
Mayor Casper.
Here. Item number 4 is a resolution to set the public hearing for May 13th at 7 o'clock on the proposed PHA plan for 2015 for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. So every 5 years, we have to renew our program. The village has about 100 Section 8 slots allotted to it, and we renew that every 5 years. We'll have Joe Mastriani here. He's the one that manages that program. He'll do a short presentation to tell us what it's about. And just requires the public hearing for that renewal. So we'll set that for our next regular monthly meeting, and this is the public announcement for it, so anybody who sees this or hears about it can come. So anybody care to move that, to set that date?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5 is a resolution to authorize the mayor to sign the master service agreement with Repeat Business Systems. This is our IT company, used to be Rocket, and then they were bought out by another company. They gave us a contract for renewal, which was basically flat, no increase except for the hourly rate for when the technician has to come here was an increase of 5 cents an hour. We asked to meet with them, just kind of as a, I don't know what you want to call it, but just to get together and take a look at some things. One of the things that we wanted from them that we got from Rocket were quarterly meetings. And they were scheduled on a regular basis, not with any particular topics, but it gave us the opportunity to actually come face to face with the management of the IT company that we work with and just talk about what could be out there for us. So the example I used is we wanted we're looking for a screening software for each of our departments, so our department heads could see where their employees were going on the internet during the workday. We tried one and it did not serve our needs at all, but we thought that quarterly we'd just like to say, geez, what are some things that are available that we could probably use for management tools? So they've added that in there, and we've been very happy with them. So would anybody care to authorize me to sign that master service agreement?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? This one I think we should call the roll.
Trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Gifford.
Yes.
Trustee Lockwood.
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo.
Yes.
Mayor Casper.
Yes. Item number 6 is a resolution to amend the Village of Scotia fee schedule. First, for the Schedule A Master Plumber annual license increase to $100. The late fee annual license increase to $75 for that same license. And then the trust certificates that we discussed for $10.
I'll make the motion. I'll second it.
Any discussion on that one? And would you please call the roll?
Trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Gifford.
Yes.
Trustee Lockwood.
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo.
Yes.
Mayor Casper.
Yes. Item number 7 is a resolution to approve the Scotia District Management Association, which is our bid, their budget for the fiscal year 2015. So they're required by our agreement with them to present their budget to us and for approval. I don't know, some of you that have been here remember their budget does count for our levy. So we've asked them to stay flat on their budget for this year because any increase that they had in theirs would count toward our tax levy. So they come back with a flat budget as well. So anybody care to move the bids, Buster?
I'll make the motion.
Accept the bids, Buster. Okay.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on that one? Please call the roll.
Trustee Mathis.
Yes.
Trustee Gifford.
Yes.
Trustee Lockwood.
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo.
Yes.
Mayor Casper.
Yes. Item number 8 is the approval of the forgiveness of the pavilion and alcohol permit fee for the Scotia Glenville Lions Club's reservation of the Lions Pavilion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that one? All approval say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And item number 9 is approval of the forgiveness of the reservation fees for the practice fields for the Scotia Glenville Little League.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on that one? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 10 are my comments. Since I just talked to you guys last night, I don't have too many, but this one later. I guess the only one I have is that I wanted to tell you that Pete asked me to lean on you guys a little bit. He's joined the Rotary Club and he's doing a fruit sale.
I saw the oranges in there.
He's currently, I think there's 24 members. He's currently number 23 in sales, so he really.
Oh,
Hey, don't worry, Pete, I'm 24.
If he sells the most, he gets a shiny new bike to ride to work every day, and I'm dying to see that. So $10 a bag for either oranges or grapefruit. So if you're interested and want to see the quality of the fruit, mine's on my desk right now, so
no. All right.
I'll put that out there. And the rest I'm going to do in a new business, so. So those are my comments. Item 11, correspondence liaison and special committee reports. Trustee Mathis.
I have nothing to report.
Trustee Gifford.
Had a fire department meeting. Notably this time we voted to get new uniforms for the first time in the 35 years I've been there. We may look decent at the parade. Let's see. We had the planning board meeting is the same as last month. We talked a little more about 25 Mohawk Avenue.
Okay. Trustee Lockwood.
I guess I'll use this time to just give you guys a brief update on the first-time homebuyer program with First National Bank. I did get an email from Dylan back in September. They had closed on 5 homes at the time, and they had been scheduled, I think, for 2 or 3 more to close before the end of the year. So I think that total brought us up to about 8 homes that they use that program for. So they were happy with that number. They're renewing the program for 2015. I think for this coming year, they're hoping that the village, and I'm going to try to get creative again and see if the village can come up with something else to add as far as an incentive for first-time home buyers to buy in the village. And I'll try to come up with something to report at one of the next work sessions coming up.
Are they still advertising it in the paper and the Gazette?
They're trying to do that. I think that's one of their goals for this coming year is to get a little bit more marketing involved. But I think for the first year, 8 homes was pretty good.
That's good.
I think they used most of the money that they had allocated for the program.
For the first time out, yeah.
And they were very thankful that we had put the booklet together with all the information about the village and all the services that we do offer.
Okay, thanks. Trustee Rizzo.
There was a couple of meetings. Freedom Park, we had a meeting the other night. We're just starting to get things together, starting to work on the schedule, planning cleanup details, things like that nature. We also had a meeting with the Memorial Day Parade. We're just putting together our budget and figuring out what we're going to do for this year's parade. And that's all I have.
Thanks. One thing I did forget
I was going to
is
say that, have you talked to anybody about the chair for a car show?
I sent an email to Karen Ballister and John Pitlevani asking for a date when we could all get together and start to work on stuff. And when that happens, I'll let you know.
Good, all right, because that's getting, you got to get that rolling.
Karen says she's got people contacting her now, so.
Good deal.
Yeah, got to roll it. One thing I forgot in my comments is get your calendars out and reserve July 11th, which is a Saturday, for the 2nd annual Village Employee Picnic.
You're getting us early, that's good.
Well, I'm thinking about putting together departmental teams for a contest.
Oh.
So I'm trying to survey the talents of each of the people on the board here. Because
So you're keeping it
Because I don't like to lose.
second Saturday of July, right?
Yep.
July what?
11.
I'm surveying our talents, and I'm surveying the weaknesses of the department heads, and it's gonna. Okay, item number 12 are the departmental reports. Any questions or comments on the departmental reports? Anybody care to move to accept them?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 13, the audit of claims.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that one? Please call the roll.
Trustee Mathis?
Yes.
Trustee Gifford?
Yes.
Trustee Longbody?
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo?
Yes.
Mayor Camp?
Yes. Item 14 is the approval of the minutes of the special meeting of the trustees on February 4th of 2015.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And 15 is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the trustees on February 11th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 16, do any board members have any new business for the good of the order?
I'd like to bring up something after the budget season is over. Had a lot of people complain about rental properties. I mean, they spend a lot of money keeping their properties up, their grass mowed, and they're next to a rental property where the paint is falling off and the window needs to be replaced. They throw a piece of plywood up on it. Is there anything we can do as a group in order to rectify this situation? Because if you look at it, they're basically right. There's a house over in where my neighborhood is. It's a rental property, and they have two elderly people that keep their homes really, really nice. And then they got this house behind them that they got garbage laying against their fence. The paint's falling off the house. They got windows boarded up. I mean, I don't think it's fair that, you know, the residents of the village have to spend money to keep their houses up, and then they have to end up looking at something like this. So I would like to work with this board after the budget season to see if we could put something together, because it's not right. And I wouldn't, if I had lived next to something like that, I wouldn't tolerate it. And I don't, you know, and these people pay a lot of taxes, and they have to look at this stuff, and I don't think it's, there's gotta be something we can do to help them out.
So this is the time of year to think about that, because once the snow starts melting, I mean, sometimes you can say, well, you would forgive some code enforcement, because if you can't sign for paint this time of year, they can't comply for exterior paint. So I've had a conversation with Lydia and Andrew, and then I'm gonna bring Louis into the conversation regarding an initiative when the weather gets better. So at our next work session, I'll have something formalized to present to you guys what this initiative.
I appreciate it. I mean, a lot of people have called me up and actually, I've seen these properties
But
before.
it's more of a people problem than a rental problem. though.
Well, no, it's a rental property.
I
If
agree.
I have a piece of rental property and I'm getting good money for it, I should upkeep the property, keep the house up.
We're not gonna differentiate though, I mean, it's property maintenance.
Right,
And-
exactly.
And I don't know what your view was, but what we've been talking about is street view property maintenance. So we're looking at a program where we patrol, and from the street view, property maintenance issues that we see, we're trying to expedite getting those addressed and taken care of.
Yep.
Because that's what people are very
That's
concerned
what it
about.
is. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Any other new business before I get to my one or two?
How much percentage are you getting on the oranges?
I'm gonna get
No sales?
Okay. I'm getting
We just need the,
I'm getting the sheer and total joy out of
Oh,
my theatrics.
sounds like a used car sale.
Okay, I have three things of new business. One is the MS4 report. So every year, we're required through the MS4 report to present what's called the minimum control measures. They are things that we've done to comply with MS4 and educate the public about the importance of not dumping stuff down the storm sewers. So it's required for me to read it out
You have
loud.
to read it, we get to take a nap.
I know. So sit back, enjoy, think about green things. Municipal control measure number 1, public education. We've distributed stormwater pamphlets, handouts, and posters that are available at the village clerk's office, DPW office, and the building department office. The village water quality report postcard was sent to all residents, included in a link to the village's MS4 program webpage. And village personnel manned the stormwater information table at the MySci event on 11/7/14. Control measure number 2, public involvement and participation. Collins Park and Freedom Park cleanup by the Elephant Society, and after the 4th of July fireworks cleanup had a total of 30 volunteers with 12 bags of garbage collected. Schenectady County Water Quality Committee meetings, the village is represented at all 10 meetings each this year. The MS4 annual report is posted on the village website and available at the clerk's office for review and comment. Control measure number 3, illicit discharge detection and elimination. All 23 sewer outfalls have been mapped within the village. 9 were inspected for dry weather discharges to see if pollutants were being discharged. None were found. The entire village's storm sewer system was mapped using GPS technology and has been entered into the Schenectady County Internet Mapping System. The work was funded with a 50% cost share state grant. The village storm sewer shed map has been completed. Control measures 4 and 5, construction site and post-construction control. During the program year, there were no new projects that required SWPPP to be reviewed and no projects under construction that required the inspections. The village inspected 4 post-construction stormwater management practices that are owned by the village several times each during the year. This included the rain garden installed adjacent to the newly paved Collins Park parking lot. Maintenance was performed as needed, including mowing the grassed areas. Control measure number 6, municipal operations. Village employees continue to be trained to implement best management practices to avoid stormwater pollution in their duties at the DPW garage and in their field operations. 87% of the village DPW and Parks Department staff was trained this year. The DPW has purchased 4 additional spill cleanup kits for village trucks. During the past year, village streets were swept 5 times each for a total of 130 miles clean, and approximately 10 acres of parking lots were swept. Catch basins were inspected and cleaned as necessary for a total of approximately 50 cleanings, which is about 10% of the system. The Parks Department applied minimal amounts of fertilizer to help combat high phosphorus levels in Collins Lake. And that's our MS4 report. Okay, we had a previous discussion on the sewer contract for the city of Schenectady. In that discussion, we talked about the forgiveness of the surcharge fees. On your resolution sheet, you have a resolution for authorizing me to enter into that contract. And within it, I'm just going to read the resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approves the agreement received February 24th, 2015 between the City of Schenectady and the Village of Scotia for treatment and discharge of sanitary sewage, conditioned upon the forgiveness by the city of all past outstanding surcharge fees as was agreed upon during the new contract negotiation. So anybody care to move to authorize me to enter?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Mathis?
Yes.
Trustee Gifford?
Yes.
Trustee Lockwood?
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo?
Yes.
Mayor Castro?
Yes. And then the last thing I have for you tonight, I gave you guys a, like a proposed date schedule for the budget. So now you've got the departmental budgets, you've reviewed those. I'm gonna put those together with our revenues, projected revenues, and I'll come up with what's called the mayor's budget. We call it the mayor's budget, it's really called the tentative budget. We're bound by state law to some dates, and I just wanted to go over them for your information, so you know where we're going here, and then propose at least one date. All right, so I'll be preparing the budget. It has to be in your mailbox by March 20th. So that's Friday of next week, so that'll be done. In that budget, I'll take what you guys saw, I'll add and subtract as I think is appropriate or necessary, and come up with what we call the mayor's budget or the tentative budget. That has to be presented formally, it says by the clerk, but generally I do it, to the Board of Trustees at a public meeting by March 31st. Now, once that's presented to the Board of Trustees, they can make any changes to it that they think is appropriate by that March 31st. After which, no changes can be made till after the public hearing. So what I'd like to propose, if you have a calendar from you, is to get this in your mailbox the 20th, and then I would like to present it to you at a public meeting on the 24th. And that would give you a week until the 31st for you to be able to tell me if you think we need to reconvene to do any changes to the budget. The reason I want to do it that way is because I don't think that it looks transparent and healthy to present a budget to the public at a public meeting, and then after it's presented, make changes to it. It's better to do that ahead of time and then say to the public, this is the budget that we're presenting.
That'd be March 31st.
So I'd like to meet on the 24th put the budgets in your mailbox, you'll have them for a long weekend. Present them to you, go over them the 24th, at a public meeting with you guys. If you're satisfied with it, you could make changes that night, if you'd like to suggest any. If we don't get done that night and we need to reconvene to do any manipulation to the budget, we have another week to reschedule a meeting if you feel we need to.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it too.
March 24th works. Could we do 6?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So once we get past March 31st, the budget stays as it is until the public hearing. Now, this is a question for Lydia. So the law says that it has to be held before April 15th, or by April 15th is a wording. The date of our regular meeting is April 15th. Can the public hearing be on the 15th, or does it have to be prior to the 15th?
You know, I have to check to see if the law actually says before the 15th, because, you know, I don't know if
No, this is a paragraph, we looked at the law, and it says by the 15th.
by, not before.
Bye.
I would say the 15th.
Then I would
is
say
fine.
the 15th is okay.
Okay. So if the 15th is okay, then we'll have the public hearing on a regular monthly meeting in April. And traditionally, every year I've been here, we've been done at that point, so we have the public hearing and then we adopt it. If we're not done, we still have the legal ability to change it, so we'll see how it goes. If we still feel there needs to be changes, then those changes can be made until May 1st. And May 1st, we are required to adopt, we're required to adopt our budget by May 1st. If somehow we can't agree and we don't adopt any budget by May 1st, at May 1st, the tentative budgets with any changes that were made by resolution becomes the budget of the village. Okay? Okay. So we have those meetings set. Any other topics before we adjourn? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.